Welcome to episode number 56. And question for you, are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling anxious? Not really sure what to do with your life right now? Well, in this episode, I'm going to help give you a little bit of guidance. Stay tuned. So the big question is, how do ambitious people like us, who grew up listening to the old advice of go to school, work hard for 40 years, and retire when you're old, create a life today that is meaningful, abundant, healthy, and brings joy, while also leading a life that is productive and full of achievement? That is the question, and this is the podcast that will help give you the answers that you're searching for. My name is Del Denny, and welcome to the Upgrade Your Life podcast. Welcome to the Upgrade Your Life podcast. And, earlier today, I was driving down the road, and I don't really listen to the news all that much. But today, I was listening to NPR, which is kind of a rarity for me. And it was talking about the epidemic of being unemployed and how they had a bunch of people coming on the show and really explaining their circumstance of, one lady called up and said, hey, I was at a company for 18 years and in a 3-minute phone call, we all lost our jobs. There was no one that thanked us. There was no one that appreciated us. There was just a call that everyone got on and said, hey, sorry, but you're gone. And I think a lot of people can relate to that right now. And they just had people calling in on the show just explaining their whole process during the pandemic of losing their job. And there seemed to be a trend that was with that of people being stressed, people trying to look for something else, people not really being able to sleep right now because they have all this worry and anxiety that's going on. And so I wanted to talk about that today, because as I've coached a few people in the last couple of days as well, I see this trend. I see this happening. You can feel this anxiety in people right now because of the pandemic and jobs and people are reevaluating their purpose right now. And so I wanted to give you some tips. If you find yourself kind of in that boat a little bit and you're trying to figure out this thing called life and you feel a little bit stuck right now, I want to give a couple little tips here. Now, the first thing I would say is that when you're feeling anxious and you're feeling overwhelmed is to change your environment. That is such an important thing. We can get in this weird loop in our mind where we're just spiraling out of control. And so when you find yourself in that circumstance and that life is never going to get any better and I'm never going to find a job, or it's time to stop and change your environment. So does that mean go exercise? Does that mean take a walk? Does that mean to move to another city? That could all be a part of that. And so changing your environment can definitely change the state of your mind. Now, the second thing is to take action. If you feel that you're stuck, take action. And there's a difference between action and perfection. People think, well, when the stars and the moon align and everything's nice and perfect, then I'll do X, Y, and Z. And there's never a good time, right? And so we have to take action towards our dreams, towards our goals. And remember this, that, as you take action, then you're going to start perfecting things a little bit better. So if you're struggling with a job right now, we'll start applying. If you're struggling and you don't have your 9-to-5 job, we'll make finding a job your new 9-to-5. And remember this, slow progress is still progress. Time feels like it's been stretched out a little bit, but as long as we're progressing, that's all that really matters. Now, another thing I would say, and this is a really important one, and I've talked with a few clients of mine as I've coached them through, and that is to define what you want. When we're feeling stuck, when we're anxious, as we've talked about, and as people are starting to make decisions on what they should do, one thing that we have to get clear on is what we actually want. That is one of the biggest traits of high performers. It's one of the biggest traits of people that are happy and successful is they have a clarity of purpose. They're clear on their goals. They're clear on what they want. And so if you're feeling stuck and if you're feeling overwhelmed, we'll take the time to get clarity, to define what exactly that you're looking for. Be clear on your job. Be clear on who you want to become. Be clear on your health. And so this is a great time as we're in this pandemic to get clear on our goals. If you're feeling stuck with your job and you're wanting to pivot and make that shift, well, what does your perfect job look like? Are you working 9 to 5? Are you working from home? What does that look like? Get clear on your goals. And so hopefully this helps as you're going through this hard time of the pandemic, as you're trying to figure out life. I hope this helps a little bit. But out of all the wisdom and nuggets that I shared today, I'm going to say that the most important thing is just to get clear on what you want. That is the number one thing. Get clear on what you want, who you want to become, what you want to do, what your day looks like, what your family looks like. Define what that perfection looks like and just start working towards it. Start taking that action to get there. So that's it, my friends. I hope that helped. I hope you may have had some inspiration in you. And maybe your mind might have wandered off a little bit to thinking, well, you know what, that's right, I could be doing this. I hope that helped. But that's it, my friends. If you have any questions, tweet me. Reach out to me on Instagram. If you have questions that you want me to address on the Upgrade Your Life podcast, by all means, reach out to me. All my social media handles are Del Denny III, stands for the third. You'll find me there, Del Denny the third. Just Google me, reach out to me. By all means, let me answer your questions. I'd be happy to do that. That's it, my friends. Remember, learn, lead, and live to your full potential. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the show on iTunes to get automatic episode updates for the Upgrade Your Life podcast. And finally, please take a minute to leave us an honest review and rating on iTunes. Your feedback really helps us out when it comes to the ranking of the show, and I make it a point to read every single one of the reviews that we get. So thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me on the Upgrade Your Life podcast. Have a great day.